Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Namaskar. Yesterday, 57 ministers were sworn in. As I committed to you, we will go in depth and try and figure out why were these ministers chosen, which zone do these ministers come from, so on and so forth. Also, this morning, their portfolios were released by the Rashtrapati Bhavan. So, we will discuss that also in short. Let's talk about some important faces that we saw yesterday in the ministry. The faces that some of them knew. The new face that we are going to see, a very powerful face that we are going to see in the cabinet is that of Mr. Amit Shah. Amit Shah was the all-powerful president of Bharatiya Janata Party, the Chanakya, the person who, they say, led to this massive victory of Modi. Amit Shah has come in to the cabinet. There was a lot of rumors that he would be getting finance, but no, he didn't get finance. He, as expected, got the home ministry. So Amit Shah, now the new home minister of India. Another very interesting face and a very surprise element of yesterday's cabinet birth was of Mr. S. Jaishankar. S. Jaishankar was the ex-foreign secretary. He was given an extension, and after the extension, he went and joined the Tatas as a consultant. And from Tatas, he was called back and he was made the External Affairs Minister of India. So S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, will be replacing Mrs. Sushma Swaraj. So a very important portfolio and a very, very interesting man for the job. The third person I would like to talk about, of course, is Mr. Rajnath Singh, who has taken over as Defence Minister. So Defence Ministry goes from Nirmala Sitharaman to Rajnath Singh. He takes over Defence, and Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman gets Finance. She handles the finance ministry and the portfolio that Arun Jaitley was handling. Now, what is also very interesting is I also like to talk about one face, and that is of Smriti Irani. Smriti Irani, because she comes in, though she was there, she was part of the cabinet last time, she was HR ministry, then she went into textiles, so on and so forth. She was part of the cabinet last time, but right now she comes in with a super renewed power. Now she is the giant slayer. She is the one who defeated Rahul Gandhi. So one more name that I would like to talk about is Mr. Nitin Gadkari, takes over Ministry of Road and Transport and Highway, same portfolio which he was handling last time. So these are the senior cabinet members that have joined in Mr. Narendra Modi in his cabinet. Now let's talk about some other ministers. The other names that I would like to talk about is Giriraj Singh. Giriraj Singh has been promoted from Minister of State to Cabinet Minister. Giriraj Singh will be the Minister of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fishing. The next minister that has taken over is Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. He too is a promoted minister from Minister of State. Shri Gajendra Singh Shekhawat is the Minister of Jal Shakti. The next new face that we see is Anurag Thakur. Anurag Thakur is replacement for JP Nadda, who incidentally is rumored to take over as the president of the party. Anurag Thakur comes in as Minister of State in Ministry of Finance and Minister of State in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So these are the three new names that have come in. Interesting names, three new names that we would like to share with you around. Three more names that we take you through is, one is Ramesh Pokhriyal. Ramesh Pokhriyal is compensated for, he backed out as the CM, therefore he was compensated and he has been given the Ministry of Human Resources and Development. So he has been given a very important ministry. Then we have Arjun Munda. Arjun Munda, we see a comeback of Arjun Munda from Jharkhand, and he was the ex-chief minister of Jharkhand. Arjun Munda comes back and he's given the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So Arjun Munda comes back with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Arvind Sawant. Arvind Sawant is a new face from South Mumbai, who again was to a certain extent, I won't call him a giant slayer, but he did defeat a very popular face of Milind Devra, and he's come into the central ministry. He's the Minister of Heavy Industries. So these are few of the very interesting faces that have joined in the cabinet. And now let us look at few faces who are not taken into the cabinet. They were there last time, but they were not there this time. One is Rajyavardhan Rathod. This is slightly surprising, but the rumors again are that Rajyavardhan Rathod is going to play a very vital role in Rajasthan. So possibly he is kept out of the cabinet because he will be focusing on Rajasthan. Another person, again surprising, is Suresh Prabhu. Suresh Prabhu was handpicked by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2014, and this time around he has been kept out of the cabinet. The third name is Menaka Gandhi. Now, one has to see whether there is any other plans for Menaka Gandhi, or is this a punishment that she received for talking, against Muslims and, saying that I will only serve people who have voted for me. So is this a punishment? One doesn't know. Or is there some other plans? One doesn't know. But Menaka Gandhi is out. Radha Mohan Singh, another minister who was incidentally the Minister of Agriculture. Jayant Sinha, another very important name that has been kept out of the ministry. Now, is he being punished because of his father? One doesn't know, but Jayant Sinha is out of the ministry this time around. JP Nadda from Himachal Pradesh. They say, rumors again are that possibly JP Nadda's name, strong name for the next president of Bharatiya Janata Party. So possibly that is why he has been kept out. But otherwise, he had a decent report in his last tenure as a minister. Mahesh Sharma has been kept out of the ministry this time. And Anupriya Patel from Apna Dal has been going against BJP. Apna Dal has been talking a lot against BJP, and I guess this is the result of that. So Anupriya Patel is out of the ministry, and therefore, and she will not be seen in the current Narendra Modi cabinet. So these are the people who are kept out of the ministry. Now let's talk about the women who were inducted in the cabinet and as ministers. In totally, there are 6 women who have been inducted as ministers in Narendra Modi government, and 3 of them are cabinet and 3 of them are Minister of States. The first person, of course, we talk about is Nirmala Sitharaman, the new finance minister of India. The second is Harsimrat Kaur Badal, and she's been given the portfolio of food processing industry. She gets food processing industry. And the third name, of course, like I said before, is Smriti Irani, the new textile and the women and child minister of India. The other 3 women who've joined as Minister of State are Renuka Singh Saruta, Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti and Debashri Chaudhary. These are the 3 other women who joined the Narendra Modi government as Minister of State. Now, let's look at the ministers age-wise. You have one minister between the age of 30 to 40, Kailash Chaudhary, he is 35. 9 ministers in the age group of 40 to 50. 17 ministers in the age group of 50 to 60. 29 ministers, maximum amount of ministers are in the age group between 60 to 70, and 2 ministers, including Ram Vilas Paswan, in the age group of 70 plus. So this is how the bifurcation is from an age perspective. So let's go next. Now let's come to some number crunching. You see, in this cabinet, there are 11 people who have joined the ministry from the Rajya Sabha, and 45 of these are joining from the Lok Sabha. Now, there is one minister who is still not either in the Rajya Sabha or in the Lok Sabha, and that is Mr. S. Jaishankar. So, he is still not in the Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha, so I am sure he will join in from the Rajya Sabha. So, the number of ministers joining from the Rajya Sabha will increase. Now let's talk about ministers from each state, the number of ministers that comes from each state. Now, before I get into these figures, let me tell you that there could be a discrepancy of 2 or 3 ministers. The reason being that some of the ministers who comes from Rajya Sabha, they may be actually working from one state, but they may be representing another state. For instance, Mr. V. Muralidharan, who is the president of Kerala Bharatiya Janata Party, Kerala BJP, has been nominated to Rajya Sabha from Maharashtra. So he is counted as Maharashtra. He will not be counted as Kerala. So these discrepancies are bound to be there. But then technically, we have to go by the state they represent, the state that nominated them for Rajya Sabha, or the state they represent in Lok Sabha. So we have to go by those states. So, but keep this in mind. Take this as a rider when you see these figures. So, starting with Arunachal Pradesh, you have 1 minister from Arunachal Pradesh, 1 minister from Assam, 5 ministers from Bihar, 1 minister from Chhattisgarh, 1 minister from Delhi, 1 minister from Goa, 3 ministers from Gujarat, 3 ministers from Haryana, 1 minister from Himachal Pradesh, 1 minister from Jammu and Kashmir, 2 from Jharkhand, 4 from Karnataka, 5 from Madhya Pradesh, 8 from Maharashtra, 1 from Odisha, 2 from Punjab, 3 from Rajasthan, 1 from Telangana, 9 from Uttar Pradesh, 1 from Uttarakhand, and 2 from Bengal. So you have 9 from Uttar Pradesh and 8 from Maharashtra. These are the largest representative states. Now let's get into another exercise. Now what we will try and do is we will try and figure out the number of representatives from the different zones of India. So we've divided India into 4 zones. And the zones are the Hindi heartland, which predominantly is the north. You have the South India. You have the Northeast India. And then you have others. Others include Maharashtra, Odisha and others. Okay. So this is how we divide India. And from the Hindi heartland, you have 31 representation. From South India, you have 5 representation. From Northeast India, you have 2 representations. And others, you have 18 ministers in the government. So this is how the ministers are divided from a zone-wise perspective. So that's that. Let's go further. Now let's get into a very interesting analysis. You see, the 5 top states where you have the maximum number of ministers are Uttar Pradesh, where you have 9 seats. Now, Uttar Pradesh goes into election in February-March 2022. And it is going to be a very, very important election for Bharatiya Janata Party. Maharashtra goes into election in October and Maharashtra has 8 berths in the ministry. Bihar goes into election again October-November 2020, that is next year, has 5 seats in the ministry, and mind you, Bihar does not have JDU. 5 does not include the 1 JDU minister because the 1 JDU minister, JDU refused to join the ministry, so they are not including that 1 JDU minister. And Madhya Pradesh has again 5 ministers. Anything could happen in Madhya Pradesh in the next 2-3 months. So Madhya Pradesh is in a very crucial situation. They have got 5 ministers. Karnataka, again, anything could happen in Karnataka. Any day the Karnataka government could be toppled, and they have been given 4 ministers. So somewhere down the line, if you look at it, where number of ministers are more in places, in states where it is important, where the elections are either due shortly or they are important elections. So basically, a lot of impetus has been given on elections when distributing the ministerial berths. That has been clearly seen here. So that's what this slide shows. So let's move further. The last part of the story are states and union territories that has no representation. Again, let the rider come in, where I have told you that some of the people, some of the members who have been nominated from different states, let that rider come in here too. But all the same, from a technical perspective, these are the states that has not been represented. Andhra Pradesh, which has got 4.6% of total population of India, has not been represented. Kerala, with a population of 2.81%, has not been represented. Manipur, with a population of 0.2%, not been represented. In Kerala, there is V. Muralidharan, who has actually been given a ministerial berth but has not been shown in the data for the simple reason that he has got the Rajya Sabha membership through Maharashtra, since Bharatiya Janata Party does not have any Rajya Sabha seats from Kerala. He was given the Rajya Sabha seat from Maharashtra. So he is being seen as Maharashtra. So therefore Kerala still shows no representation. So you have Meghalaya, 0.22%, no representation. Mizoram, no representation. Nagaland, no representation. Sikkim, no representation. Tamil Nadu, with 5.46% population, no representation in the ministry. Tripura, 0.3%, no representation. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, no representation. Chandigarh, no representation. Dadra and Nagar Haveli, no representation. Daman and Diu, no representation. Lakshadweep, no representation. Pondicherry, no representation. So these are the states that does not have a representation in the Narendra Modi ministry in the center. It looks like elections has been a major consideration for granting or for distribution of ministerial berth, because states like Madhya Pradesh, states like Karnataka, these states were given impetus, these states were given a good amount of ministerial berths. States like Maharashtra, which is going into election in October, states like Uttar Pradesh, which is going to be very important, which is a very important state for BJP, has been given a lot of impetus. So election has been considered a very important factor before the distribution of ministerial berth. Also the fact that states like Odisha, states like Andhra Pradesh were not given ministerial berths is possibly because the elections there are already over. The assembly elections there are already over. So we assume that there could be a possibility. All in all, this is what it looks like. We wish the new team the very, very best, and we hope they do a fantastic job for India. See you tomorrow with a new subject. Namaskar.